Hi everybody. So I haven't done an update in a long time on my healing, and I wanted to talk about that now in this beautiful, gorgeous sun. I could just sit in forever. Drinking that up. So when I say healing, what I want to really be clear about is that when we're healing, nothing is wrong. We're not saying, okay, something is wrong that I need to fix. I'm broken. I am inept, something is shattered. Healing essentially is just moving towards greater fullness, greater sense of identity, greater sense of joy. In our lives, we will always be healing. We will always be moving forward. And that's actually a good thing, a beautiful thing. We'll never come to a place where we'll be like, see you later. I don't really need to do any work on myself anymore because I'm perfect and everything is great. No, we'll always be reading something. We'll be inspired by a movie, by a mentor, a therapist. We'll go to retreat. We'll always be working on ourselves. It's just, kind of part of our commitment to our soul growth as humans. But it's really important to remember that as we do our healing work, to not lose sight of pleasure. That's where I'm at right now. And let me just tell you, getting a message on Facebook. We'll get back to you soon. Let me just tell you, pleasure, dude. Pleasure. And I'm not just talking about sexual pleasure. I'm talking about taking time for myself every day to notice that when I start to feel frayed, when I start frayed at the edges, I'll get this feeling of, oh, there's so much more I have to do. Or when I start to worry about anything, if I worry about what someone might think about something or what someone might said or something that could happen tomorrow, the minute that I notice that sensation of discomfort, I've been calling in light. And I've been literally visualizing, sending energy, beautiful fireworks of love and light towards any person in which I feel like there's some dissension with, in which I feel like we've been struggling. Maybe someone that it's kind of hard for me to see the gift that they are for whatever reason. So in my mind, the minute that I have fear over someone and pain, I've been catching it, breathing, saying, I don't have to choose this. I don't have to be upset right now. There's nothing to be upset about. I'm creating that. And then sending that person light and love, the situation light and love, just pow. In Kundalini Yoga, you see that gorgeous energy shooting up the spine and exploding upwards and out, right? Just covering you and filling you and being everything you need. I love also shifting that energy towards someone else. And then also in that space of just being totally open, visualizing receiving. That person, that situation is giving me that same amount of love, that same amount of truth, that same amount of kindness. It's just pouring towards me. So I just open my hands and my heart right now to receiving it. So that is total pleasure that I've been experiencing every day. Soul gripping, delicious, fabulous pleasure. It just feels like how the sun feels like right now on my skin. It's even hard to put words to everything that's happening because it just everything is the way it should be. It feels really good. So another part of what I'm experiencing with pleasure lately is noticing that when I receive and when I give sexual pleasure, that oftentimes it has been out of a place of obligation, out of a place of fear, out of a sense of this is just what I have to do. I have to do certain things in order for it to be right, or in order for me to be a sexual person, in order for my husband to feel loved, to have pleasure, etc., etc., etc. Recently, I've been letting all of that go, shedding it completely, totally, and just being completely present and completely open in every single moment, especially when I'm experiencing sexual pleasure with my husband and when I'm experiencing it alone. And I've been learning how to let it be another tool, the divine, and not to be ashamed and not to be embarrassed, and to really recognize how God is connecting with me in those moments of sheer desire, sheer pleasure. I was in the shower today and I was watching my body, and I noticed myself, like, anytime, like, I start to wash my breasts, or my vagina, or any part of me that has been touched by trauma in some way, I often go into this sort of like, let's get this done. Like, okay, like, I'm doing this really quick. I have to get this done. I have to do it the right way and then let it be over. And today, like, I caught myself, just like I've been catching myself if I get into fear or if I start to worry about anything, I caught that sense of urgency. And like, it was like this shakiness in my heart, like this shakiness and fear. And I just said, hey, it's okay. Like, this is my body. It's beautiful and sensual and delicious. And it's okay for me to move slowly, to move kindly, to move gently. So I literally just took a deep breath and said, it's okay. You're okay. Trauma is so funny because it can rob pleasure and joy out of simple things like taking a shower, having sex with your partner, feeling the sunlight on your face. It can rob us of that, right? But in the same breath, the trauma actually also gives us the gift of those things. Without going through everything that I've been through in my past, and the heartache and the drama and what my body and mind can constitute as sexual abuse, without going through that, there's no way, I know in my heart, that I would not be able to soak up the sun rays like I am right now. And that's when I say, healing, it doesn't mean that anything's broken. It doesn't mean that anything's wrong, because actually everything in our lives that we've experienced has occurred for a reason. For our fulfillment, for our healing. And I've been really getting that, like, really, really, really getting that. So every time I'm like hurt, or I want to hold a grudge, or I want to feel bad, or I want to be burdened by something from the past that comes up, I've been asking it, rather, show me the gift again. Remind me of this gift that came from this person, or this thing, or this feeling. Can I have the gift, please? And deciding to focus on the gift, because I am so good at recognizing need for growth, right? Like, I can tell everybody everything, like, oh, you need this and you got to do that. And I'm just that's one of my strengths, is just really being able to assess a situation and figure out, okay, what needs to change? How do I need to grow? How do things need to get better? And lately, I've been deciding not to sit there in that place of wanting things to change, of always having to have something be different. Or even my language, like, I used to talk a lot about people, and I catch myself doing this too, like, oh, this person has that problem, or this person is going through that. And I noticed that my energy when I do that is just kind of exhausted. It's not full, it's not sensual, it's not ripe, it's not like biting into a delicious peach. So what I've been doing instead is, instead of talking about the fact that person was really mean, or that somebody cut me off in traffic, or can you believe this thing that happened today when I was on the phone with the insurance, blah, 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 I've been consciously choosing to just delight in the present moment, and not to go on and on about any perceived way I think that the world is doing me wrong, because I noticed that as I open my heart and I'm grateful for all of these experiences that come, even the experiences that like pissed me the hell off, life is getting easier. It continues to get more easier and more juicy and more delicious day by day. So I challenge you, what part of your life is like chapping your ass right now, like really pissing you off and hurting your feelings? Who's that person? What is that thing that keeps coming and you're like, I hate this. I don't want anything to do with this person, blah, blah, blah. Like, whatever that is, what is it? Just take a moment and think about it. I'm sure somebody will come up in your face, and their face will come up in your mind, and maybe your heart will start to pound. Maybe you'll feel the constricting in your shoulders. Kind of just notice what happens in your body when you start to get pissed off, and when you start to be really hurt and really frustrated, and that grudge starts to rise in you. Notice what happens in your body, what's happening to your energy, what's happening to your breath. You know, your breath might be tight, constricted, your shoulders might be up here, you know, because when we're right, we're tight. We're not able to really be with people because we're tight and we're looking down on people. It's like looking down on them, our noses are up, you know. So what if you decide to be totally tickled by the situation, totally enamored? I know you're strong enough to call upon the power in this terrible, mind-blowing, heart-achingly difficult situation. I know that you can pull out the marrow, the juice. Ask for it now. Just ask for the situation to show you the gift in it. What is the gift? What is it giving to you? What are you able to take away? How are you able to grow and love even more? To appreciate yourself and your life, and hugging and holding and kissing and eating and dancing. How are you able to appreciate all these things even more now because of this pain in the ass situation that keeps coming up? It's there, and once you open your heart to it and you ask, hey, you know, show me your gift, show me your love. I'm open to it now. I really want to receive you. It will come. Man, it will totally come. It will knock your socks right off. You'll be like, holy fucking shit, I cannot believe it. What was I thinking? You know, I had this belief and this thing about this person, and wow, and now to really see them, it's like to love them, and it's to love yourself, right? So when we see the gift in other people, we're really able to love ourselves and appreciate what we bring to every single area of our lives. So enjoy the magnificent, delicious gift that is you today, my lovelies. I'll be talking to you again soon.